something like a Medicare for all, for instance. A lot of people wish that we could have great public health care and that you didn't need private health insurance, but they wouldn't go and say you should eliminate private health insurance, and that's how President Biden—
Only a communist would say that.
That's not true.
It
All
is
over
true.
Europe, they're not communists.
We'll be right
and they
back.
But I think that people are going to have a lot of trouble pinning her down as just a massive flip-flop.
So this was a terrible week. She got no bounce out of the convention.
That's not true.
She's no bounce.
She got a 4-point bounce, and
No
she's
bounce.
in Georgia today campaigning.
Okay, she got no bounce.
Have you checked in with any conservatives about the RFK endorsement and the impact of Tulsi Gabbard being on the campaign? Because I don't think it's good for your side.
You don't think having RFK endorsed is
What?
good? Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it makes Donald Trump a completely unserious conservative candidate.
Unserious. What's going on, guys? We got to talk about the 5, okay? Jessica Tarlov is back, ready for more humiliation, okay? She's back for her daily humiliation ritual, or every other day, or however often she's on the 5. She's not one of the permanent members. She swaps out with another leftist, but Jessica is definitely one of the main stars of the show because she shows up regularly to get bullied and just picked on, just shoved and pushed around by her other much more intelligent co-hosts. And they're talking about Kamala Harris. So what is Jessica gonna do? She's gonna do what she always does. She is gonna defend Kamala Harris to the death. Same thing she did with Sleepy Joe. She said Sleepy Joe was good to go until after that debate, and then he wasn't so good no more. Same thing here is happening with Cackling Kamala. They're gonna be sitting there on November 5th being like, man, what the hell happened? It's about to be the stupidest, most dumbest, most predictable election maybe in the history of the United States. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Kamala has some splaining to do after weeks of ghosting the public with her policies. Veep Harris is finally going to sit down for a pre-taped chat with CNN tomorrow. But she ain't going solo. No siree, dragging Tim Walz along for the ride. And he can't go AWOLs on this one. Kamala's going to have to face the music on a growing list of her flip-flops. Despite co-sponsoring a bill that would require all new car sales to be EVs or zero emissions by 2040, Team Kamala now says it's a, quote, lie that Harris backs EV mandates. And it's not just electric
What
cars.
a freaking
The word
flip-flopper.
salad spewer has a buffet of 180s she made on the border wall, fracking, and your private health care. Roll it, Sven.
Well, by my plan, by 2045, we will have basically zero emission vehicles. Only 100%.
By the way, that wall will never get built.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
You support the Medicare for All bill. I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance. So for people out there who like their insurance, they don't get to keep it?
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
And the Democrats' elder cue ball, James Carville, is worried Harris went too far to the left in 2019 and will have a hard time walking it back.
Ineffective answer for 2018. Which was a disaster, which is not good. I really moved to the left in the primaries. And she needs overarching answers to place all that in context. I think she will have one. That's the number one thing that worries me.
This is what's crazy. This guy's concerned that Kamala is basically going to be busted for being a left-wing lunatic rather than her being a left-wing lunatic. He's concerned about her being busted, not the fact that she is what she is. Her being what she is the problem. Her getting exposed is a good thing. Like, if you don't want a left-wing lunatic, these people want this radical to get elected as a moderate and then just show up and then become some radical left-wing lunatic in office, and they want to keep doing that every election. It's insane. They can't win based off of telling the truth about what America's actually becoming. They have to lie about it and then try to do it under the table behind everybody's back and somehow blame Republicans for it.
Jessica, isn't it? You know, perhaps if you're a Democrat, why not just be the same person all the time? You know, why adopt a different persona before an election, which is supposed to be centrist, and then when you get in, all of a sudden you go radical left? Why be two people? It's like having a secret family, Jessica, that you hide from other people.
So this is pretty standard fare that someone who has run before had policies that they don't necessarily implement while they're in office. And the closest—
Kamala Harris is still in office, guys. Like, are you guys joking right now? She's just gonna suddenly just flip again if she happens to win, because she's going to change from being VP to president, and then all her points of views are going to change. This makes no sense.
Proxy for what Kamala Harris would be is who Kamala Harris was as VP and part of the Biden-Harris ticket. And I understand that that is a problem for some people, but you cannot run from that. You can run from a position you took in 2019, and we've discussed this before. You know, I think that she could do very well to roll the clips, right? Show me what I said, and I'll explain to you about how different it is once you're actually governing. And
if that's the case, then why didn't Kamala Harris do this sooner? Like, it's been nearly 40 days and she hasn't had any interviews yet, at least as of me posting this video.
You can't get things like that passed. Something like a Medicare for all, for instance. A lot of people wish that we could have great public health care and that you didn't need private health insurance, but they wouldn't go and say you should eliminate private health insurance, and that's how President Biden...
Only a communist would say that.
That's not true.
It
all
is
over
true.
Europe, they're not communists.
We'll be right
and they
back.
Okay. But
all over Europe, wealthy people get private health insurance because the other system sucks.
But they're not. But the people who advocate for public health insurance are not communists, and a a lot of people do. When I was there, I used the NHS.
Are they though?
I lived in London, and it was terrible. I got my own private doctor.
Same.
He actually moved in with me.
That's a beautiful story. But I think that people are going to have a lot of trouble pinning her down as just a massive flip-flopper, looking at...
What did he say?
Did y'all not see them clips at the beginning? She trying to build the wall. She doesn't support banning fracking anymore. She supports Medicare for all, but she doesn't support it. She doesn't support getting rid of your private insurance no more. What do you mean you're going to have trouble pinning her down as a flip-flopper? Everybody is calling her a flip-flopper. This dude, Carville, is a Democrat, and he's concerned about it. So what do you mean it's going to be a hard thing to pin her down? She's running from the public. Her policies aren't even on her damn website. She's so afraid of being busted and being held accountable for a position. She doesn't want to hold a position firmly. That's why there's no policies listed on the website, because she has no positions. Are you crazy, Jessica?
When you are competing against Trump, who has a long record of doing... I'm for a national abortion ban. I'm not...
Talk about her.
Well, but I'm talking about the race that she's participating in, and she's running against someone who wants to ban TikTok, then doesn't want to. I'm for a national abortion ban. Now I'm not. I'm for visas for highly skilled migrants. Now I'm not.
The thing that I will give her one thing. Not that Jessica deserves any points, but I'll give her one thing. She dug deep for this, because I was wondering if anybody would notice. Trump did say he wanted to ban TikTok. If you go back far enough, he definitely was against TikTok. As of this moment, he's not against TikTok.
Unspeakable truth that you can only be a leftist when no one's paying attention. But when people start paying attention, then you gotta lie. And that's what's happening with Kamala.
She's probably going to show up to the debate with a bandage on her ear. She's going full ultra MAGA at this point. And to Jessica's point, Trump changed his position on national abortion ban because of the Roe v. Wade decision. It was a pretty big decision that had to create. You also changed her position on TikTok. These are small things. She's changed every single position she's ever had. You said she has problems in 2019. She has problems for the last 4 years, and she has problems now because this last week she got cooked. This was a huge vacuum where she took the week off to prepare for a CNN interview or a debate or whatever the hell she was doing for the last week. And the media got annihilated by Republicans because the media is trying to defend her record. And even they can't defend her record because they don't know what her record is. Kamala doesn't know what her record is. The Kamala campaign doesn't know what her record is. They won't send Walz out to do interviews because he doesn't know what her positions are. So this was a terrible week. She got no bounce out of the convention.
That's not true.
She's no bounce.
She got a 4-point bounce, and
No
she's
bounce.
in Georgia today campaigning.
Okay, she got no bounce,
Oh, you
Jessica.
got no bounce.
Look at the polls.
Okay.
And
I
she's
do
now
look at the
down
polls.
in all the battleground
That's not
states.
true.
Real clear, check it out.
Okay.
Right now, in the break, I'll prove you wrong.
Okay.
And she's down in the betting markings. You can check that in the break, too. 39 days to decide whether you want to do a CNN interview. It took her 39 days. That's insane. They're probably doing mock interviews. Remember how she had to go to that dinner party in D.C.? They held a mock dinner party. They had to prepare
What
to
if
go
you
to a
picked
dinner
the wrong
party.
fork?
I don't think
Then
that's
you're
what they were
forced.
preparing for, okay? This woman, since the RFK Jr. endorsement, has lost every news cycle of every day for the last week. Everybody knows she has no clue what her identity was, what her positions are. And if you have to have people come out in writing and change your positions, you haven't seen actual surrogates from Kamala Harris go on TV and explain this. You know why? Because they can't. And these are professional spinsters. And even they can't defend the flip-flop.
Have you checked in with any conservatives about the RFK endorsement and the impact of Tulsi Gabbard being on the campaign? Because I don't think it's good for your side.
You don't think having RFK endorse is good?
Get the hell out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Okay.
Get out!
Okay.
Yeah,
What
because
the
it makes Donald Trump a completely unserious conservative candidate.
Unserious. She's the most unserious. She laughed for 3.5 years. I hate using that word about Donald Trump.
We'll take
Wait a minute. This lady's trying to say basically because Donald Trump is embracing somebody who's a former Democrat, a defected Democrat, which a lot of us are, that somehow he's not a serious candidate. She's looking at how the radical left, like how they push people out and they're like, good riddance, we don't need you. They basically are mean and cruel devils. Like they have demonic stuff, like all that trans into the kids stuff. That stuff is demonic. That's anti-religion. It don't matter what type of religion you are. It's against all of them. And these people don't believe in any type of forgiveness or anything like that. So they pushing people out and they want them gone. And in a lot of cases, they want them dead. The conservative side, for the most part, is not like that. So we'll take whoever the hell we could get, as long as you're not some crazy far leftist trying to trans kids, you're not a pedo, whatever, then we'll take you. We'll take black, white, old, young, LGBTQ, male, female, whoever. But we don't want crazy radical leftists trying to turn it into a communistic society. RFK is not trying to do that. Tulsi Gabbard is not trying to do that. These people are very much moderates. Like, they were Democrats, but they are very much moderates, and they were anti-establishment, which is one of the reasons why they obviously didn't get selected by the rigged primary system. But to say that these people are bad for Donald Trump is just the dumbest thing. This might have been the dumbest thing that Jessica has ever said, and she's got a lot of brain dead takes.
Take RFK Jr., okay?
You take him, and the
We'll take him.
and
We'll
the
take him,
whale
and we'll take him and his
better
votes.
food, better health for the American people.
The
I mean,
man
no
is a
one has
loon.
talked about that.
All right,
He's not
all right.
gonna
I just want to make some clarifications. When Jesse said that Kamala is changing positions, he meant political positions. Also, when he claimed that Kamala got cooked, he didn't mean literally.
Guys, are you really surprised at this point? I mean, this lady has got to be one of the most Trump deranged, crazy radical leftists in existence. This is the dumbest, definitely the dumbest takes that she's ever had. RFK is a problem now. Kamala can't be pinned down as a flip-flopper. She done flip-flop, polywop so many freaking times, directly, like so directly, so against certain things, border wall, Medicare for all. Like, these are not small things. Fracking, electric vehicle mandate, everything she was criticized for. They try to say she's not for any of the stuff that she was criticized for. No policies on her website so that she can try to deny this. Donald Trump's not an idiot, guys. He's gonna destroy her in this debate because he's seen the same things that everybody else sees. He sees no policies. He sees the flip-flopping. He knows probably better than me and anybody else on YouTube or anywhere else. So he's ready to cook Kamala Harris, and Jessica is making a ridiculously futile effort to defend a candidate that is really indefensible, guys. She was never a strong candidate, and neither is her Tommy Pickles looking vice president. Okay, this dude looks very strange and has a lot of audacity calling people weird, because he's definitely the weirdest looking VP that I can think of that I've seen maybe ever. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
You take him, and the
We'll take him.
and
We'll
the
take
whale
him.
jet. People are going to have a lot of trouble pinning her down as just a massive flip-flopper.
Slap yourself.